Okay guys, this is my review for Smackdown the 21st of the 2nd, 2012. Now this was actually on Tuesday because it was a live one, obviously it's filmed on Tuesday. So it started off with Daniel Bryan, the World Heavyweight Champion, coming out saying that Sheamus ruined his moment in the Elimination Chamber, basically rained on his parade a little bit. Says he'll win against Punk later because it's a champion versus champion match is the main event. And those two had a good match on Raw a couple weeks ago, so I'm quite excited to see that. The Miz comes out, who was of course Daniel Bryan's trainer in NXT season 1, I think it was season 1. He says that he wouldn't have made it without. He says that he would have made it without Miz's training, but he's kind of like, he's not out here to steal Daniel's thunder. He's just there to kind of say like congratulations on main eventing WrestleMania this year, like the Miz did last year against John Cena. And when all's said and done, they should make a tag team. They should be the greatest tag team in history, etc., etc. Then the Great White, the Celtic Warrior Sheamus, comes out saying that at WrestleMania, Daniel Bryan will get what he deserves. Miz says to Sheamus, you know, how dare you come out here trying to steal his thunder, trying to steal his spotlight, how dare you, who do you think you are? Very Miz kind of things to say. Sheamus kind of goes, look mate, get out of the way, let the guy that's facing me at WrestleMania speak for himself. So Miz hooks out of the way, Sheamus turns around, Daniel Bryan punches him in the face, and of course Sheamus goes after Daniel Bryan wants to ray like the wimp he is. Then it's just Sheamus and Miz have a beatdown. Sheamus gets the best of Miz, throws him out of the ring. Then Teddy Long comes out, says, alright, it's Sheamus versus Miz, right now, get it on. And Sheamus obviously wins via his new finisher. Now, inside sources tell me that Miz is having a bit of trouble backstage. He's not everyone's favourite guy. There was an interview between Alberto Del Rio and some random radio show. Del Rio said that he detests Miz and that a lot of people do, which I can kind of get. But his on-screen persona has been a bit iffy lately. And I think that is because Maurice is left. Those of you who don't know, him and Maurice are married. Don't know how long, but they have been for quite a while, I think. And of course, when you're on the road with someone for 300 plus days a year, you get used to seeing their face every day, and then when they're gone, for a while you think, yes, alright, I got my freedom, but then it hits you, they're gone, and you're kind of a bit stuck with what to do. So that would definitely affect him. It would affect me if I was in his position, so that might be why he's a bit off. Might be why he's getting less screen time, why he's not at WrestleMania yet. So, I don't know, hopefully he can sort himself out. Because he is good. No matter how much we love to hate him, he is good. Teddy Long and John Laurinaitis have a thing backstage. John says that Teddy's unprofessional friendship with Oksana is, like, not allowed. And he makes David versus Ezekiel Jackson later on tonight. It's then Kofi Kingston and R-Truth versus Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger. Dolph wins over Kofi via a thumb to the eye and then a roll-up. We are reminded that the Hall of Fame inductee for this week is Ron Simmons, the guy that came out and said damn a lot. There have been a lot of like speculations on why they put Ron Simmons in there before they put JBL. I must agree that JBL did probably do a little bit more for the company. But I do also have to say that I wasn't watching wrestling when Ron Simmons was a wrestler. I remember him as the guy that came out and said damn. I didn't know he actually wrestled. That was kind of new to me. But I did my research like a true fan and found out that he was the first African American WCW champion, which does mean a lot. Because you think about it now, you've got Booker T, you've got Kofi Kingston, you've got loads of African American superstars that have gone on to be huge things. Think of Mark Henry. They've gone on to be huge, and he kind of made that possible, if you know what I mean. But yeah, they definitely made the right choice, I think. It's then a backstage promo with Santino training his Cobra, his hand snake dude. He's kind of with cups on the table, which is really random. I still don't really understand why. Heath Slater comes in and ruins his little get-up thing. The Cobra, somehow, I still don't know how they done this, spat in Heath's eye, like, I don't know, some trick Spider-Man thing, I don't know. Spat in Heath's eyes, and that was it. That was the end of promo, and I really don't know why. I mean, you've got two amazingly talented guys. Santino is amazing. He can wrestle. You've given him this 5-year-old gimmick. He's amazing. You've not given him time. You've given him a great gimmick. You've not given him time. I just sort yourself out, WWE. Okay, that was my rant. I'm finished now. It's then we then get told that there has been a Twitter war going on between CM Punk, WWE Champion, and Chris Brown. Now, I'm going to tread on very thin water here and say that what Chris Brown did to Rihanna is wrong. CM Punk said on a wrestling radio show that he feels like, you know, he should get in a ring with someone who can defend themselves and can throw their own punches instead of just a woman, which I do have to agree with, because people say, yeah, it was in the past, he's changed, he's done this, he's sorted himself out. It's easy enough for him to say that in a press conference, but I don't know, I don't follow him on Twitter. According to Punk, on his Twitter, he's giving it all that, and then he had that pick-up line thing. He went up to a woman in a bar and said, I promise I won't beat you, then laughed and used it as a pick-up line, which is horrible. It's atrocious. But yeah, that's that, and they've had a Twitter war going on. They say you can see all the details at the website, which is of course www.wwe.com. It's then, I don't know why they made this match either. It's then a Great Khali versus Dolph Ziggler versus Drew McIntyre. Sorry, I'm thinking of Dolph again. I'm sorry. Great Khali versus Drew McIntyre. Don't get why. Seriously, don't get why. Khali wins by the Punjabi plunge. Last I heard, they were going to give Drew McIntyre this kind of playboy gimmick, like he was going to be like a bit of a player, a bit of a ladies man. This was a couple of weeks ago, and I'm yet to see it, and I'm excited to see it. He had a good thing going with Kelly Kelly, and they had that little I love you, you don't love me back thing going on with Edge when he was still in there, bless him. I want to see it. I'm excited to see Drew do something instead of just come out here and look even more pathetic by not winning a match because of the storyline he's got with Teddy. But I don't know. They need to get their act together. It's then Mark Henry versus Big Show. Big Show is about to chokeslam Mark Henry when Cody Rhodes comes out. Now, those of you who don't know, Big Show eliminated Cody Rhodes at the 10-man battle royal for the #1 contendership for the WWE title on Monday Night Raw, which was the day before. And I cannot remember how, but Cody had also lost Big Show a chance at WrestleMania for the title. Might have been in the Elimination Chamber, I honestly can't remember, and I'm sorry for that. So Cody and Big Show got a bit of beef going on right now. Cody comes out with a clip and saying it's Big Show's embarrassing WrestleMania moments with like this little TV bit. And it is Big Show versus Bumo. I don't know, I can't say his name. But this huge sumo guy, they had a sumo match, and he came out in the little string piece, I should say. Big Show in a string piece does not make me want to smile. It makes me want to laugh, and it makes me want to cry a little bit as well. But it looked like quite a funny match. I suggest you check it out. I can't remember what WrestleMania it was on. I want to say 13, but I honestly don't think that's right. But Show, obviously, he gives Mark Henry the weapon of mass destruction and goes out after Cody. Now the bell didn't actually go, but I'm guessing Mark Henry won by a count out. But yeah, that's my phone going off. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that. It's then Ezekiel Jackson versus David Otunga, the match that John Laurinaitis and Teddy Long were talking about earlier. David wins via the power slam, which I don't really get why they're putting this tiny little guy called David Otunga over this massive, you know, muscle of a man called Ezekiel Jackson. I don't get why. I don't get it. It's then CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan, which is the main event of the evening. They mention a lot of Chris Brown saying the Twitter war. End of the match, Daniel Bryan goes to leave because obviously he's getting his ass whooped. Sheamus then comes out, throws him back into the ring. There is no violence. He literally picks him up by the trunk and puts him in the ring. It's not. No one threw a punch, no one threw a kick, nothing. All very innocent. And then Punk super kicks him while he's in the ring, and Punk gets pin 1, 2, 3. Punk's win over Daniel Bryan. His music hits. Then John Laurinaitis comes out. Mr. Party Ruiner, Mr. Clown Shoes comes out and says, I am not going to stand for this monstrosity. There has been outside interference in this match, so it will restart and continue. Which, I get that, I kind of get that, but then I'm thinking, CM Punk's on Raw, and there's kind of this general manager feud between Teddy and John, which brand's better, who should be general manager of both shows, surely John Laurinaitis would want his show to win, so surely he'd be saying Punk won, not Daniel won. I don't know, confuse me. And then Daniel Bryan then gets the pin over Punk, but he had his hand on the rope and the ref didn't see it. John sat there clapping away like it's him for Smackdown instead of Raw again. Teddy Long then comes out, thank God, and says, I will not stand for this monstrosity. There has been, you know, an injustice here and the match will continue. Both, they go for this kind of suplex, and Bryan goes straight in the pin, and CM Punk gets his leg over Bryan, so they're both pinning each other, both shoulders are down. I don't understand it, I've never seen it before, but it looked quite cool. Both get the 3 count, the ref start to go, I don't know what I'm doing, I need to tap, but I don't know who's won. So they get the 3 count, who won? Nobody knows. John Laurinaitis comes in, picks up Daniel Bryan's hand, Daniel Bryan's the winner. Teddy Long comes out, picks up CM Punk's hand, CM Punk's the winner. And then they kind of hit each other, get all in each other's face. There's a GM argument going on, and it's cool because they're the guys that aren't meant to fight. They're the guys that aren't meant to, you know, get involved personally in the business, as John Laurinaitis himself said once upon a time. And John kind of takes his jacket off, he throws it on the floor, he's getting all angry, he's getting ready to go. Teddy Long takes off his jacket, he kind of balls up his hands, he's like, oh, I'm so angry, but I can't hit him. So he throws his jacket in his face, and it was so pathetically untimed and bad aimed. Really pathetic. It made good TV, but it was really bad. And then Teddy just gets up and walks out of the ring. And that was it. That was Smackdown. That was the live Smackdown Super Show, whatever they want to call it. And yeah, I will see you soon for Raw. And I do suggest that you have a very good weekend and enjoy whatever you're doing.